చేస్తాను. ఎంతో ప్రేమతోనే పిలచితే ఎంతో ప్రేమతోనే పిలచితే మా పని సరి మా పని సరి సారి మా గరి సని దని సరి సాని దప మరే మరే మా పని ఎంతో ప్రేమతోనే పిలచితే పలుకవు శ్రీకృష్ణ సతతము బ్రోచుబనుచు నిన్నే చాలా వేణుచు వేణు గోపాల సరి సని సనీర్ సని నిద పని దప దప మప మరే మ పని సరి సారి మా గరి సని దని సరి సని దప మరే మరి మ పని ఎంతో ప్రేమతో మేలా చేసే ఊయి మేలా చేసే ఊయి వేలా మాగ పమరి మరి సారి మపంత మేలా చేసే ఊయి వేలా నిద పద మద పమగ పమరే మరి సరి 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 మరి మరి పమ పంత మేలా చేసే ఊయి వేలా పాప సాస పస సని దప ని దప మప మని దప మగ పమరే రే పాప సాస పస సని దప ని దప మప మని దప మగ పమరే రే మమరి స పప మరే మప ని దప మద ప మగరి సరి సరి మప సరి సమారి మపరి మప ని దప పస ని దప మరి సని దప పని సరి సరి మగరి సని రే సని ని సాని దప మగరి సని సరి మపంత వేలా చేసే ఊయి వేలా పంత మేలా
Matrudevo Bhava, Pitrudevo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, Atiti Devo Bhava. On this wonderful sunny evening, I welcome you all to this program called Experiencing Krishna through Ragam, Talam and Lyrics. I and VARSHA extend our heartfelt thanks to the Consul General of India at Frankfurt for once again inviting us for this live evening with you all. And I extend my thanks to my parents, to my teachers, my gurus. So we are having a small issue with the the phone stand, so kindly bear with us. So I extend my thanks to my parents, my teachers, my gurus, and the Atiti here, who are the wonderful audience here who are there, who have joined to cheer us up. Thank you.
Thanks to the viewer who kindly noticed that the camera should be rotated. So we are just solving that. We're using a stand, so it's taking some time. So that's why you see your screen is probably shaking a bit more than it should be. But it's almost sorted, and here we are again. So, Carnatic music, there's a reason why it's a passion for so many of us, and I'm included in one of those lucky, I'm one of those lucky people who are who are greatly passionate about Carnatic music. And thanks to my guru, Srimati Sudha Kamuri, who incidentally is from the Semangudi lineage, for those of you who are familiar with the Guru Paramparas of Carnatic music. Without her, I wouldn't be here where I am, so namaskaram to her, and her blessings I sought, and I'm so glad that I have her in my life. Carnatic music is one of those ancient genres of music which evolved with every era, with the acharyas or composers who came during the timeline. And what makes Carnatic music so special is, I would say, also what makes Hindustani music, its northern counterpart, very interesting, is that the combination of ragam, talam and lyrics. And each of the acharyas, composers, combined the ragas with an appropriate talam, an appropriate context for the song, and lyrics, came up with such beautiful lyrics that you can't but enjoy, even if you don't understand the language in which the song is written. For example, this varnam, this varnam composed in Surati is one of the main songs that are taught to Carnatic music students, and it's one of the types of songs, varnam, which students learn to involve themselves into ragam, into brihas, or the subtle ways in which the swaras or notes of the song are sung. And this succeeds the range of formal exercises that Carnatic music students go through. The most basic one that you start with is called Sarilivarsa. So that goes like Sari Gama Pada Ni Sa Ni Da Pa Ma Ga Re Sa. And then you progress from the Sari Gama Pada Ni Sa, which is an ascending or arohanam, and you come down Sa Ni Da Pa Ma Ga Re Sa to avarohanam or descending. And thus you build up the vocal cord muscles. The human voice is one of the most beautiful organs or tools out there, a complex set of muscles that move together to produce sound, music, and emotion. And our gurus, our acharyas have done, I'm no one to comment on or judge their composition, but I can't help but say it's exemplary. And the kind of resources that we have to even render a little bit, my guru says even 1% of it, we are extremely lucky.
So, my name is Malathi, and I'm an engineer entrepreneur And Varsha and I are living in Frankfurt since 2006 with our family. And I also run an IT services and engineering services company out of Frankfurt. And recently I have started a social platform called Bogia.online, where we promote the Indian art, culture, tradition, and everything about India to help the expat Indians stay connected to their roots. Now, the topic that we have chosen for today, experiencing Krishna through Carnatic music. Now, when we say Krishna, we all know that he's one of the avatars of Lord Vishnu. And what is special about Krishna and also about Lord Rama is that they are the two avatars who came down to earth and live with us, the masses. And Krishna is more special, and we'll find out why through this evening. And what do I exactly mean by experiencing? Now, when I say experiencing, we are talking about the different ways in which our saints and acharyas and sages have experienced Krishna. Now, some of them experience this and they come out with shlokas. Some of them come out with lyrics like the one Varsha sang now. So each one of them focus on different aspects or different qualities of the Lord, while some of them enjoy his external appearance, you know, his four arms with the Shankha Chakra Kadapani, with the lotus eyes, with the curly hairs, with the peacock feather, with his Pitambaram, with his consort Mahalakshmi on his Hridaya Kamalam. And some of the saints and acharyas adore the divinity in him, the qualities of the Jnanabala, Aishwarya, Virya in him. Some of them praise the simplicity with which they lived. Like Rama had friends with, he had made friends with Guha, with Sugriva, with Vibhishana, different kinds of people. Same with Krishna, we saw in the morning. Krishna was not only a friend, philosopher, guide to so many people, he was a master strategist, he was an advisor to the Pandavas. But what was endearing about Krishna is the qualities like the Saushilyam or the Saulabhyam. I will come to it in a minute. So these are the qualities that make him approachable, not only approachable, easy to approach. These are the two qualities. Saulabhyam is the quality that makes Krishna approachable, and Saushilyam is the quality that makes it easy to approach. So Krishna was that much more easier to approach, and that is why we see the Gokulashtami or the Krishna Jayanti, which is celebrated as the birthday of Krishna. It's celebrated north, south, east, west by almost all Hindus across India and everywhere. Like I told, we celebrated it last year in our house. We have this, we put Krishna's little beautiful legs, we put with the rice flour, so we go like this and we put those 5 little toes for him. And it's an occasion that we celebrate with a lot of funfair, and we prepare a lot of delicacies for him. I believe there are some customs in India, like even in the Hari Om temple in Frankfurt, they prepare something like 54 varieties of food, snacks and sweets, 54 or 72, I'm not sure about the number. So that is the variety that we experience Krishna with in terms of food. And there are some acharyas, some saints who also fall in love with Krishna and they yearn to be with him. They are filled with so much of love that they sometimes even consider themselves to be, some of the saints who are men consider themselves to be a woman, so they can feel this love for Krishna, and they kind of invite him, and they are waiting with longing for him to join them.
That was so beautifully conveyed, and that's actually the essence of Ento Prema. You know, in Ento Prema, Pallavi Gopal Iyer, the composer of the song, in this beautiful ragam called Surati, for those who are watching, who are Carnatic music experts or fans, you can take a guess at which ragam's janyam it is. And for bonus, you can maybe write the Arohanam and Avrohanam. In the end, I will sing the Arohanam and Avrohanam of Surati, just Surati, and you can check if you got the right answer. But incidentally, the Melakarta, that is the main raga, of which Surati is the Janyam, is kind of the theme, I would say, the ragam theme of today evening. That ragam, you know, like almost all Melakartas are quite, you know, gambiram, they say, you know, very grand and very deep, and a lot of exploration that can be done, because a Melakarta can has, you know, 7 notes in the Arohanam or ascending and 7 notes in descending or Avarohanam. And the Janyas have their own tone, their own emotion. And Surati is a ragam, which, though being a Janya of that ragam, whose name I won't mention yet, is rather cool, like a breeze. And it is with this cool breeze and positive emotion and a sense of loving longing that Sri Pallavi Gopala here speaks to Krishna here. He says, Krishna, ento prema, with so much love, you know, how much love am I inviting you to me, to be with me. Oh, why aren't you coming? I'm waiting for such a long time. Why aren't you speaking to me? I'm waiting for you. I know that you'll be there, but oh, where are you? Join me and let me have this happiness. Don't be so stubborn, please. Why? Come on and stay with me. So this is the kind of longing that you can describe with many ragas, but Surati is one that playfully invites Krishna to be with the composer and with us, the listeners and renderers of it.
So we are waiting for your answer as to what raga that is going to be. Now, just like Krishna is playing with the listeners here, Varsha is playing with the listeners here. Krishna also was a very naughty boy. You know, he as soon as he was born, he revealed his divine form to his parents, and Devaki she got scared, and she said, you know, if you're going to go out like this with your 4 arms, you know, even though he came with his all armaments, you know, Shankha, Chakra, Katapanya, but still Devaki, being the mother that she was so scared that Kamsa would come and kill him. So she requested Krishna, please be like a baby, be like one of us. So Krishna immediately obliged. In fact, at a later point of time, Devaki had requested Krishna to go to the Patala Loka to bring back 6 boys who were related to Kamsa, and he immediately obliged and did that for his mother, in fact for Yashodas also. So he ensured that with each of the relationships that he had, be it with Draupadi, who was to whom he was her best friend, with Arjuna, we all know he enjoyed a very brotherly but the most intimate friendship with Krishna. Then with the cowherds, when he grew up, he would do anything for them. He would take all the blame on himself when they were all in trouble. He protected the cowherds with the Govardhanagiri. We all know that story. But this little boy, as soon as he was born, he had to be taken to Vrindavan, where he grew up with Mata Yashoda. And there, by the time he turned 10, you know, he had to kill so many asuras. Anything he touched to play with became an asura. So it was Bhutana in the beginning, who came as a mother, disguised as a mother, feeding him, and he sucked the life out of her. Then it was the Sakadasura, it was the Agasura, it was the Kaliya, it was the Kesi, whatever it was. There was a horse, he wanted to ride the horse, that became a Kesi Asura. There was in India, I don't know what the English word is. We have something shaped like this, a rhombus, in which we put the grains. We have to clean them and look for stones. So we call that Sagadam, and in Tamil. And he started to play with that, and that became an Asura, Sakadasura. So then we know about the Kalinganardana. We have so many of such stories. But after he became a youth, he started doing the Rasa Leela with the Gopikas in Vrindavana, and still he was a great friend with the Gopis. Such was the relationship that he built with all of them, that when he had to leave Gokula and move to be with the Pandavas, they were all, they could not bear the separation from him. But wherever he was, he ensured that he filled the space with cheerfulness and joy.
And this joy that one experiences with Balakrishna may not always be super positive. So let's take a look at one of the compositions of Utkadi Venkata Subbayar. A little playful here, huh? Vishamakara Kannan, Vishamakara Kannan, Pollada Vishamakara Kannan, Pollada Vishamakara Kannan. வேடிக்கையாய் பாட்டு பாடி விதமிதமாய் ஆட்டமாடி நாளுக்கொரு லீலை செய்யும் நந்த கோபால கிருஷ்ணன் விஷமகார கண்ணன். வேடிக்கையாய் பாட்டு பாடி விதமிதமாய் ஆட்டமாடி நாளுக்கொரு லீலை செய்யும் நந்த கோபால கிருஷ்ணன் விஷமகார கண்ணன், விஷமகார கண்ணன். நிலமேகம் போல இருப்பான், நிலமேகம் போல இருப்பான், பாடினாலும் நெஞ்சில் வந்து குடியிருப்பான். நிலமேகம் போல இருப்பான், பாடினாலும் நெஞ்சில் வந்து குடியிரு. புல்லாங்குழலூதி, கோல புல்லாங்குழலூதி கோப்பிகளை கள்ளமாடி கொஞ்சம் போரு வெண்ணெய் தாடி என்று கேட்டு ஆட்டமாடும் விஷமகார கண்ணன். கோல புல்லாங்குழலூதி கோபிகளின் கள்ளமாடி கொஞ்சம் போரு வெண்ணெய் தாடி என்று கேட்டு ஆட்டமாடும் விஷமகார கண்ணன், விஷமகார கண்ணன். பக்கத்து வீட்டு பெண்ணை அழைப்பான், பக்கத்து வீட்டு பெண்ணை அழைப்பான், மூகாரி ராகம் பாட சொல்லி வம்பு கிழிப்பான். பக்கத்து வீட்டு பெண்ணை அழைப்பான், மூகாரி ராகம் பாட சொல்லி வம்பு கிழிப்பான். எனக்கு அது தெரியாதென்றால், எனக்கு அது தெரியாதென்றால் நெக்குருகா கிள்ளி விட்டு அவள் விக்கி விக்கி அழும்போது நீதாண்டி முகாரி என்பான் விஷமகார கண்ணன். எனக்கு அது தெரியாதென்றால் நிக்கூருகா கிள்ளி விட்டு அவள் விக்கி விக்கி அழும்போது நீதாண்டி முகாரி என்பான் விஷமகார கண்ணன், விஷமகார கண்ணன். வெண்ணெய் பானை மூடக்கூடாது, வெண்ணெய் பானை மூடக்கூடாது, இவன் வந்து விழுங்கினாலும் கேட்க கூடாது. உன் அம்மா கிட்டே சொல்லக்கூடாது, சொல்லிவிட்டால் அட்டகாசம் தாங்க ஒண்ணாது. சும்மா ஒரு பேச்சுக்கானோ, சும்மா ஒரு பேச்சுக்கானோ திருடன் என்று சொல்லிவிட்டால், அவனை திருடன் என்று சொல்லிவிட்டால் உன் அம்மா பாட்டி அத்தை தாத்தா அத்தனையோ திருடன் என்பான் விஷமகார கண்ணன். சும்மா ஒரு பேச்சுக்கானோ திருடன் என்று சொல்லிவிட்டோம், அம்மா பாட்டி அத்தை தாத்தா அத்தனையோ திருடன் என்பான் விஷமகார கண்ணன், விஷமகார கண்ணன், விஷமகார கண்ணன், பொல்லாத விஷமகார கண்ணன். வேடிக்கையாய் பாட்டு பாடி விதமிதமாய் ஆட்டமாடி நாளைக்கொரு லீலை செய்யும் நந்த கோபால கிருஷ்ணன் விஷமகார கண்ணன், விஷமகார கண்ணன், விஷமகார கண்ணன்.
Vishamakara Kannan, the mischievous boy, he gave so much trouble to Yashoda. Every day the one or the other gopis from the neighborhood would come complaining, Krishna stole my butter, and he hasn't left anything for us and all of that. But even when they say that, they were so filled with joy that Krishna, and they would wait eagerly for Krishna to come and do this the next day. But Yashoda was always this protective mother. She would always, whenever the gopis came and complained to her, she would always say, no, I don't think it is my Krishna. It was not my Krishna. She was always very protective mother. But one day she got really angry when a lot of gopis came together, gopikas came together to complain. she got really angry, and she took one small thread and tied him around the what is it called, the what we use to pound the rice. So she tied him there with a small thread around his belly. Krishna, who showed his divine form, was tied with a small thread, and I told you he revered his mothers, both his mothers. So he was bound, he remained bound to that thread as though he was scared of his mother. That is the Saushilyam that we are talking about, the Saulabhyam that we are talking about, his down to earth guna, or the humility that makes him so endearing. And not only that, when he came of age, he and his brother Balarama were sent to sage Sandipani to learn all the different arts. India had, at that point of time, even today, we have 64 different kind of art forms, and they were so skilled that they learned all of these 64 different arts, and they came back, and when they finished, when they graduated, they had to give a Guru Dakshina to the Guru, and Guru Sandipani he placed a request that please go to the heavens and bring back my dead son. That was the Guru Dakshina that sage Sandipani had requested, and Krishna immediately obliged to that also, and he brought back his son alive. And once Krishna had to go as a messenger to Duryodhana's palace, and it is not considered a very, it's considered a very lowly task, especially because Duryodhana did not treat Krishna well. Even though Duryodhana knew Krishna's original form, he knew that he was the divine, but still, Duryodhana being Duryodhana did not treat Krishna well. He did not even offer him a chair. But Krishna did not let his ego come and play there, but rather he was very focused on the mission with which he came, and he was able to turn the tables around him in his favor or in Pandava's favor. And there was this other example where we could feel his humility was when he readily accepted to be Arjuna's charioteer. Now, one may wonder what is so humble about being a charioteer. Now, today we may have all this GPS which tells us take right, take left, go straight and all of that. But as a charioteer, how would you know which direction to take? A charioteer is just supposed to lead the horses in the right direction. And for this, the prince or the king who is standing in the chariot would use their toe on the shoulder of the charioteer. So Krishna not only was his advisor for Arjuna, he was a charioteer, and he had to take a lot of kicks from Arjuna's shoes. So he had done so much for the people around him, and these are the qualities, once again I reiterate, that makes him so endearing to us, and we always want to welcome him. And he did all of this, I would like to compare him with Rama, who had always, wept. He always wept. He lost his wife, he wept. He had to go to the forest. He was not so shaken, but he still wasn't, happy guy. But our Krishna never wept. There was only one incident when he wept, when his very dear childhood friend Sudama passed away. But otherwise, he was a very cheerful guy, and he did all that he did for all his relationships, playing his wonderful flute and with love and affection. In doing so, he gets waves of love in return.
Yeah. So what other kinds of love have we seen, in our life? Happy love, sad love, basically speaking. And by the way, when you feel a certain kind of emotion to a song, feel free to write it down. I'm really curious to see if Surati, in the beginning, that was the first Varnam or the first song at all that I sang. I'm curious to see if it made you feel that cool breeze that I mentioned afterwards, or Vishama Karakannan. By the way, I'm waiting for you all to guess the ragam. But how it made you feel? Did it also make you feel playful, Or did you feel something else as well? Pure happiness, ecstasy, you know, all kinds of beautiful emotions can be felt when listening to this, you know, amazing combination that the composers have, you know, done with ragam, you know, in which, in this case, you know, we have this, you know, Melakarta, whose Jannam I've taken for this evening, and Talam. So far we've had, you know, Adi Talam for the Varnam and Ekatalam for Vishmakarakanan. And the song about to sing, you can guess the Talam, and you can guess the Ragam as well, because this is quite a popular song, and people love to sing it at family events as well, because this Ragam, though expresses bhakti and longing, also has a kind of, you know, smooth, or let's say, you know, flawless aura to it that just endears one to it, even if it expresses longing, and even if it expresses just a slight bit of another emotion that Uttakadu Venkata again here expresses through the lyrics. Alaypayure kanna en manam alaypayure kanna en manam alaypayure Ananda Mohana Venuganamad alaypayude kanna en manamiga alaypayude Unnananda Mohana Venuganamad alaypayude Ninai பெயராது சீலை போலவே நின்று நினை பெயராது சீலை போலவே நின்று நினை பெயராது சீலை போலவே நின்று நினை பெயராது சீலை போலவே நின்று நேரமாவதரையாமலே மிக வினோதமான முரளிதர என் மன் அலைபாயுரே நேரமாவதரையாமலே மிக வினோதமான முரளிதர என் மனம் அலைபாயுதே கண்ணா என் மனமிக அலைபாயுதே உன்னானந்த மோகன வேணுகானமது அலைபாயுதே தெளிந்த நிலவு பட்ட பகல் போல் எரியுதே தெளிந்த நிலவு பட்ட பகல் போல் எரியுதே திக்கை நோக்கி என் நிறு உருவமும் நெறியுதே தெளிந்த நிலவு பட்ட பகல் போல் எரியுதே திக்கை நோக்கி என் நிறு உருவமும் நெறியுதே கனிந்த உன் வேணுகானம் காற்றில் வருகிறே கனிந்த உன் வேணுகானம் காற்றில் வருகிறே கண்கள் சோழகி ஒரு விதமாய் வருகுதே கண்கள் சோழகி ஒரு விதமாய் வருகுதே தனித்த மனத்தில் உறுத்தி படத்தை எனக்கு அழித்து மகிழ்த்தவா கண்டித்த மனத்தில் உறுத்தி படத்தை எனக்கு அழித்து மகிழ்த்தவா ஒரு தனித்த மனத்தில் அழைத்த எனக்கு உணர்ச்சி கொடுத்து முகிழ்த்தவா தனித்த மனத்தில் அழைத்த எனக்கு உணர்ச்சி கொடுத்து மகிழ்த்தவா கரை கடல் அலையினில் கதிரவன் ஒளியல் இணையிரு கடலென கழிக்கவா கரை கடல் அலையினில் கதிரவன் ஒளியென இணையிரு கடலென கழிக்கவா கதறி மனம் உருகினால் அழைக்கவா இதரமாதருடன் நீ கழிக்கவோ கதறி மனம் உருகினால் அழைக்கவா இதரமாதருடன் நீ கழிக்கவோ இது தகுமோ இது முறையோ இரு தருவம் தானோ இரு இருத்தகுமோ இது முறையோ இரு தருமம் தானோ புழலூதிடும் பொழுது ஆடிடும் புழைகள் போலவே மனது வேதனை மிக உடலை பாயுதே கண்ணாயன் மனமிக அலை பாயுதே உன்னானந்த மோகன வேணுகானமது அலை பாயுதே
Okay, so we have one person, Prasanna Venkateshan. Okay, and he has guessed the talam as Adi talam.
Is
Varsha?
that correct? Drum roll. Correct. So
Okay.
that was the correct talam. Well done, Prasanna Venkateshan. And anyone wants to warrant the guess? I told you that the first ragam was Surti, and I can tell you the second song for those of you who joined a bit later. It's Vishamakara Kannan. Vishamakara Kannan. Okay, just so you know. And now it's up to you to guess the ragam and the third song for Alepaide Kanna, what the ragam is. So you have two ragams left, and Surati and these two ragams are from the same Melakarta ragam, and it's up to you to guess that ragam. And in the end, I will sing Surati, but I want some adventurous people here to guess the Arohanam and Avrohanam of Surati. 1 point each for Arohanam and Avrohanam. So Prasanna leading with 1. Let's see who of you can come up with the answers to the other questions.
Okay, who's going to join the competition now? Okay, so but Krishna not only showed Saushilyam and Saulabhyam, he was also very forgiving. It was Kshamatvam. And when Bhishma was lying on the bed of arrows, with great Karunyam and with great Vatsalyam, he took Dharmaraja along with the other Pandavas and the Vasishta and the other ministers also went to the place where Bhishma was lying on the bed of arrows, and like I said, with great Karunyam, he wanted Bhishma to give the Sri Vishnu Sahasranama, which we as part of the Parayanam group in Frankfurt are committed to recite it almost every weekend, and we have been doing this for the last 10 years, and we are very happy to have about 80-90 families to be part of this noble venture that we started, like I said, 10 years back. So this was done out of Karunyam, compassion, and like this we saw the qualities which are considered, high EQ, emotional quotient qualities, like the compassion, humility, approachability, forgiveness, forgiving nature, and the love, the Vatsalyam. These are all very desirable qualities. Now, all along, Varsha has been talking about Carnatic music, and I have been talking about experiencing Krishna through his various qualities. Somewhere it doesn't seem to sync.
No?
No? No. Is there something that we are missing here? Maybe we didn't prepare well? Yeah? We'll come to it after this song.
The missing emotion. Can anyone guess what it is? Krishna is known for many. We had a bit of internet connection, reconnecting symbol going on there. So, we're going to be repeating a few things. In case you heard them, you can just, let them flow through the other ear. Krishna has many things: a lover, a naughty person, quite troublesome, I don't know if mothers of Kali Yuga will be able to deal with the naughtiness level that Krishna displays. We know a little Krishna. She's quite naughty. And her parents are having a bit of an interesting time, we should say. But most of all, above all emotions, the primary emotion that we all have for Krishna, and the one he has for us, is rendered through this shloka actually. अधरं मधुरं वदनं मधुरं नयनं मधुरं हसितं मधुरं हृदयं मधुरं गमनं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम् अधरं मधुरं वदनं मधुरं नयनं मधुरं हसितं मधुरम् अधरं मधुरं वदनं मधुरं नयनं मधुरं हसितं मधुरं हृदयं मधुरं गमनं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं वचनं मधुरं चरितं मधुरं वसनं मधुरं वलितं मधुरं वचनं मधुरं चरितं मधुरं वसनं मधुरं वलितं मधुरं चलितं मधुरं भ्रमितं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं वेणोर्मधुरो रेणुर्मधुरः पाणिर्मधुरः पादौ मधुरं वेणोर्मधुरो रेणुर्मधुरः पाणिर्मधुरः पादौ मधुरं नृत्यं मधुरं सख्यो मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं गीतं मधुरं गीतं मधुरं भुक्तं मधुरं सुक्तं मधुरं गीतं मधुरं पीतं मधुरं भुक्तं मधुरं सुक्तं मधुरं रूपं मधुरं तिलकं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं करणं मधुरं तरणं मधुरं हरणं मधुरं स्मरणं मधुरं करणं मधुरं तरणं मधुरं हरणं मधुरं स्मरणं मधुरं वमितं मधुरं शमितं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं कुञ्जा मधुरा माला मधुरा यमुना मधुरा वीची मधुरा कुञ्जा मधुरा माला मधुरा यमुना मधुरा वीची मधुरा सलिलं मधुरं कमलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं गोपी मधुरा लीला मधुरा युक्तं मधुरं मुक्तं मधुरं गोपी मधुरा लीला मधुरा युक्तं मधुरं मुक्तं मधुरं दृष्टं मधुरं शिष्टं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं गोपा मधुरा गावो मधुरा इष्टिर्मधुरा सृष्टिर्मधुरा गोपा मधुरा गावो मधुरा इष्टिर्मधुरा सृष्टिर्मधुरा दलिलं मधुरं फलितं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपते रखिलो मधुरम.
Maduram, Maduram, Maduram. Everything about Krishna is Maduram. He lived throughout his life with cheerfulness, and he stands for the 6 divine qualities which are Jnana, Vairagya, Virya, Kshama, Dharma, and Yashaha. So, knowledge, detachment, valor, forgiveness, righteousness, and fame. I will surely come to the connection between these qualities and music. There have been many experiments that were conducted to understand the effects of music on the physical, emotional, and psychological state of the human being. And to our surprise, to our, I'm only getting the German word here. You know, German has a lot of wonderful words which are equivalent to our mother tongue, and English has certain shortcomings in that. So, which is to our advantage. That was the word I was looking for. So, to our advantage, Carnatic music stimulates the production of certain brain chemicals, and this can cause a sense of well-being. It can give us a sense of positivity and can have a positive impact on our cognitive functions and improve our mood and quality of life. Now, when this happens and when we listen to the Carnatic music, we can we take the rasa. The rasa is basically the essence. Like in a fruit, we take the juice. When we listen to Carnatic music, we can get the rasa, the bhava of the singer. And this, when the chemicals are triggered in our brain, we are in an appropriate mood to kind of eulogize or to kind of inculcate the qualities that are being sung through these songs. And this is why our great composers, our sages, our saints have left us with such rich literature that we can read or we can understand or at least get into the practice of listening and appreciating art through its various forms. And this would lead to excellence. It would lead to a great positivity in our lives, and it gives a new meaning to our life.
Yes, and this meaning that's rendered through the Carnatic music compositions is exactly the kind of meaning that the composers envisioned us to grasp. They wanted us to feel the love, the bhakti that they have for their Ishtadevata. Today we talked about Krishna, but as we know, we have the freedom to choose our Ishtadevata and, immerse ourselves in him, her, it. If you've selected an Ishtadevata as a mountain, or a river, then you can eulogize your Ishtadevata through the songs. And many composers have written songs with many, many Ishtadevatas. Tyagaraja for reconnecting. We're back again. So Sri Tyagaraja, who is one of the Trimurtis or 3 great composers of Carnatic music, along with Sri Muthuswami Dikshidhar and Sri Shama Shastra. Shastri, Sri Shama Shastri. The 3 of them are proponents of Carnatic music and revered so much because they brought out the essence of Carnatic music through a wide selection of tala, ragam, and lyrics. And Tyagaraja, he eulogized Krishna, and Uttakad Venkata, as we saw, he loved to speak about Krishna in all forms, either as a naughty boy, as a lover. So this kind of bhakti is what we need to have in our hearts while rendering Carnatic music.
Yeah, so the Indian classical music has the capability to make us aware of who we are as an individual and our relationship with the divinity, and it helps us cleanse ourselves from within. We call this the inside out approach, and finally it elevates us to achieve the kind of values and qualities that we want. In short, it helps us ace to excellence. Varsha, do you want to probably reveal the ragas, the talas? We don't have anybody else answering, so
I guess our viewers are a lot more interested in enjoying the music rather than thinking about guessing the compositions. There is a right answer. Yeah, they may be
soaked in the bhakti rasa.
Wishful thinking, but you know, we musicians always, I shouldn't say we musicians, there are proper musicians who render the compositions of the saints with their soul, and it is to them and to those who strive to keep the Carnatic music genre alive that our thanks would go to. So, down to the answers. Last chance, I'll give 5 seconds for all of you to type really fast, and then I'm going to get to the first Varnam.
3, 2, 2.5, sorry, 1.5, 1.1, 1.
Okay,
No,
time up.
0.
Vishamakarakannan Natai is one answer we have. That's actually an interesting answer, because I did find a composition or a rendering of Vishamakarakannan in Ragam Natai, and it actually threw me into a bit of doubt, because I thought it sounded a lot like Harikamboji, which is now, as I have accidentally, no, not really, told you, is the Melakarta Ragam. It's the 28th, so there are 72 main ragas, which are complete scales, Re, Gama, Padanisa, different Sas, different Ris, Gas, Mas, Das and Nis, and Sapa the same. And Harikamboji is the 28th one. And Surati is one of the Janyas. And Vishamakarakannan is apparently Chenjuriti, which is the ragam of Vishamakarakannan, and the talam is Eka, and composer, as I said, is Uttukadu Venkata Subbaiah. And who guessed it correct? Again, Srimati Soumya Satyanarayan guessed correctly that Alaipaide Kanna is Kannada ragam, another Janya ragam of Harikamboji. And now I promised you viewers, and I think we can wrap it up with that, the Arohanam and Avarohanam of Surati. Sarima pani dani sa sanida pamaga pamari sa. So it's Surati, because you know how it flows, you know, it spins like a coil. Pamari sa. And that, I suspect, is what gives the cool breeze to this ragam.
So I hope we were able to fill your ears and hearts with the Bhakti Rasa of some of our composers with the 4 songs, and also help you ace in your life. So once again, thanking the Indian Consulate at Frankfurt for giving me and Varsha this lovely, lovely opportunity to share about Krishna and a little about Carnatic music. Thank you so much. Enjoy the evening.
And the weekend. Namaskaram to you.